Good day everyone! Our report for today is about ecological literacy.
So, ecological literacy. Ecological literacy is the ability to understand the natural systems that make life on Earth possible.
And here are the examples or the coverage knowledge that ecological literacy
The
has.
first one is local ecology. So, what is local ecology? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it is made up of particular physical and biological elements and their interaction. For example, is studying the food chain in a wetland area like this one. The next one is the ecosystem health. It is a metaphor used to describe the condition of an ecosystem, meaning to say, it is all about knowing the condition of our ecosystem. For example, is having knowledge about the cause and effect of fire, flooding, growth, extinctions, invasive species, climate change, mining, fishing, farming or logging, and a host of other reasons. The next one is conservation challenges. It is about the challenges we face in the process of preventing pollution, conserving energy and materials, and promote recycling and reuse. The other one is science literacy. So what is meant by science literacy? Science literacy is the knowledge and understanding of scientific concepts and processes required to economic productivity, which means it is about finding or determining an answer to have economic progress and theorizing and explaining natural phenomena like the law of supply and demand. Next is horticultural practices. It is about dealing with garden crops, fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants. Meaning to say, it is a knowledge on how to cultivate plants in gardens to produce food and medicinal ingredients. The other one is water quality and natural resources. It is a knowledge about our natural resources and its importance. For example, is that the water is one of the needed substance to produce food because it gives life to the plants and animals.
So, eco-intelligence, for example, is allows us to comprehend system in all their complexity. So, as well as the interplay between the natural and man-made worlds, ecologists tell us that natural systems operate on multiple.
So here are the components of ecological literacy or the factors we should have to make ourselves say that we are ecological literate. So we have 4 components, and number 1 is the foundational knowledge. It is about our basic knowledge in ecology, including the facts and information that we need. The example are the coverage knowledge of ecological literacy that has been discussed lately, the ecosystem health, food sources, conservation challenges, science literacy, horticultural practices, and water quality and natural resources. Number 2 is the environmental effect or our verbal commitment. It is about being vocalized in sharing the knowledge that we have about our environment, ecosystem, or the ecology. Number 3 is the cognitive skills or the action planning. Since we already have knowledge about the problems or solutions, being ecological literate, we should have plan on integrating or implementing the knowledge we have. And last is the behavior or the actual commitment. In this area, we are applying our plan into real-life situations.
Paths to environmental career. So, we have environmental careers for 3 hungers: animals lovers, recycling mavens, compost queens, careful organizers, water conservationists, and light switch flipper offers, or whatever you want to call your earth-saving selves. So, green professions are fashionable right now. Whether you want to save the spotted old, support renewable energy, or conserve Earth natural resources. And paths to nurturing enjoyment. Public land provides youngsters with a security and chance to learn about themselves and their surroundings. In caring getting, the family gathers around the table rather than in front of the screen. So the family table is both a source of nourishment and a source of nurturing for the family. So next is paths to scientific research. So what do you mean by scientific research? Scientific research is defined as data collection, so analysis and interpretation using systematic and developed scientific techniques. For example, if the outlet is faulty by coffee maker will not operate when plugged into it. So experiment, I use the outlet to plug in my coffee maker. So as a result, my coffee maker is operational. Ang conclusion niya is my outlet is operational but my toaster is still unable to toast my bread. So paths to the importance of nature, life cycles, and ecology for human existence. So unahin natin yung the importance of nature. So, food we eat, the air we breathe, and the water we use to irrigate our crops are all provided by our forests, rivers, oceans, and soils. So, we also rely on them for a variety of other goods and services that are essential to our health, happiness, and financial well-being. So, during its life cycle, an organism goes through physical changes that allow it to reach adulthood and produce new organisms. So, since these changes are common within species, they can be grouped into stages of development. So, ecology enriches our planet and is necessary for human happiness and development. So, it adds to our understanding of people's and nature's connection, which is critical for food production, and clear air and water, and biodiversity conservation in a changing climate. Next one is eco-belief. So, developing spiritual and cultural connection to the land and natural resources. So, next is some spiritual beliefs. So, una is Earth is stewardship. So, yung Earth is stewardship entails managing social, ecological change trajectories at local to global scales in order to improve ecosystem resilience and human well-being. And the next is regeneration. So, regeneration is the natural process in which plants and animals replace or restore damaged or missing cells, tissues, organs, and even complete body parts full function. And next is equity of shared resources. So, the allocation and use of resources, people, time, and money. So, to create student experiences that empower all is referred to as resource equity. So, no matter their race or socioeconomic status, children can achieve empowering and rigorous learning outcomes. Next is biodiversity. Biodiversity is a phrase that refers to the tremendous diversity of life on the planet. So it can also be used to refer to all of the species in a certain location or environment. So every living thing, including plants, microorganisms, animals, and humans, is referred to as a biodiversity. And last is indigenous knowledge. So the understandings, abilities, and philosophies produced by communities with a long history of engagement with their natural surrounds are referred to as indigenous knowledge. So, local knowledge guides decision making in the key aspects of daily life for rural and indigenous people.
So, how to engage students to develop ecological literacy? Number 1 is connecting students to the wonder of natural world as it occurs. For example, is asking them if they know or they already went and what are they experienced in an environmental friendly place or a tourist spot. Number 2 is providing natural materials and resources for exploration and to build knowledge across curricular. For example, is creating instructional materials that allows students to see and understand our ecosystem. Number 3 is outdoor classrooms. For example, is letting the students to find natural resources like plants and let them think and share its importance. Number 4 is growing and cooking foods. For example, is let the students plant a vegetables and let them also cook this when it is ready to harvest. Number 5 is scientific and inquiry-based learning experiences. For example, are letting the students to do researches, case study, or field study about our ecosystem.
So, activities to foster ecology. So, tatlo to, mapping the local environment to learn key ecological cultural principles, studying the interplay between society and the environment. The last one is supporting habitat restoration projects.